Alright, so just remember, guys, we are going to do a binder check tomorrow, and then we also have our math test tomorrow, so let's go over the study guide real quick. Alright, in the study guide, the first part is vocabulary. Please, 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 please spend some extra time tonight studying vocabulary. Guys, this could be up to 28 points on the test tomorrow. Please make sure you know your your vocabulary tomorrow. You'll notice right here it says there will not be a word bank on the test. This is for my advanced students. All right, my regular students will have a word bank still, but my advanced, there is not a word bank. You need to have your study guide out checking, okay? All right, there is not a word bank. Guys, please make sure that you study this well enough so that you know those words and that you can spell them correctly, all right? None of the words are too terribly difficult to spell, so we should be able to do those, okay? All right, number 1 says it's an illustration that has an X and a Y axis and is numbered with integers. This is called a coordinate plane. If you needed to know where to find that in your notes, that would have been on number 13 in your notes, if you need to know more information about that. Number 2, blank is a mathematical sentence indicating that two quantities are not equal, which insinuates that we're comparing something. All right? This is going to be called an inequality. This one has given a lot of people some trouble because the way we worded it in our notes wasn't the exact same. All right? But this is what we're looking for on the test. It's a mathematical sentence indicating they are not equal. If you needed to know where this was in our notes, this is on number 9 in our notes. That's where we should have found that answer. All right, number 3 is the distance from 0. All right, this is called the absolute value, and we've talked about that and how when we measure distance, it's always positive, which is why absolute value is always positive. This is located on number 7 in our notes. Number 4, all whole numbers, negative numbers, and 0 are considered to be integers. This is just a fancy way to say positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0. And this was on number 5 in our notes. Put it in your backpack, please. All right. Number 5 says blank is the point of intersection at the x-axis and y-axis on a coordinate plane. This is that center area where everything starts at 0. It's called the origin in your binder. Pick it up. This would be on number 13. All right. Blank is neither positive or negative. 0 is the only number in the whole wide world that is not positive or negative. And this was on number 5. A blank integer is always greater than a blank integer. So this is just your two types of numbers. Because remember, an integer is just a number. So a blank number is always greater than a blank number. What we're looking for here is a positive number is always greater than a negative number. All right, and this was also on your notes on number 5. Okay, so that gives you also a reference on where to find those in your notes. All right, so we have positive, and then that's negative right there. Ignore that little extra scoop coming down on the bottom. All right, number 8. Which point is located to negative 1/4 on a number line? I've had a lot of questions about this today. Please remember that 1/4 is just a piece. All right, it's not even up to a whole. So what I'm looking for when I go to negative 1/4, we're going to the left, but I'm not making it very far past 0. I haven't even made it to 1. So the only option that would work for that is going to be C. Okay. Number 9. Number 9 says a point that is located closest to 0.5 on the number line. Guys, this is positive. And if you'll look, the only option that's even a positive number is C, and it is located between 0 and 1. 0.5, has that even made it to a whole number? Yet again, no. So that should be between 0 and 1 on the positive side. So again, we're looking for C. All right, number 10 is another one that's kind of giving some people some trouble. All right, on number 10 it says circle all the comparisons that are true. Circle all the comparisons that are true. All right, so right here on A, we have the absolute value of 5 is less than 1/4. Remember, absolute value makes everything positive. So even though this is a positive 5, the distance from 0 is still positive 5. Is 5 less than 1/4? No, so A is not true. I'm just going to mark it out. It doesn't work. It's not true. All right, so here, same thing. That absolute value is going to make that a positive 4. Is 12 less than 4? No, B is not true. All right, C, again, we have those absolute value bars. That's going to make everything positive. So 3, the absolute value of 3 is 3. Does 3 equal 3?
Yes.
Yes, so C would be true. All right, D, it says negative 2 is greater than negative 17. Negative 2 is closer to my positive numbers. It's closer to 0. It's closer to the positives. So is it bigger than negative 17? Yes, because it's closer to my positive numbers. If I look at this number line, all right, right up here above it, all right, here's negative 2. Negative 17 is going to be way back here in the back. The one further to right is 2, which means it is great. Remember, right means great, like Tony the Tiger. All right, number 11. Okay, this one's kind of, it's like all of them are easy, but there's something slightly tricky that can mess us up on every single problem. All right, here, what I'm wanting you to do on this number line, I actually tried to make the number line really easy for you. It already has the marks. It has where your 0 goes, but we need to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is already there. I'm going to fill in my negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 is already there. Okay. All I've done so far is just put the numbers that we're missing. Now I'm going to put dots above these little points that it gives me. So I need a dot on negative 2. So where negative 2 is on the number line, I'm putting a dot, making sure my dot is on the line, not floating up above, directly on the line. Negative 3.5, so I did 2. Negative 3.5, so I'm going to go to the negative side. There's negative 3, but it's 0.5, so I'm going to go a little bit towards 4 and put it in the middle. So there is my negative 3.5, in between 3 and 4. 1/2. For some reason, these fractions are what trip us up the most. Guys, 1/2 is just like a half of something. A half of something. It's positive. Have I made it all the way up to 1 whole?
No.
No, so I'm between 0 and 1 because a half hasn't even made it up to the whole number of 1. So I can't go further than that.
Nope.
A half should be between 0 and 1. And then we have negative 5, which is a whole number. We like those. They're easy. Put a dot on negative 5. Okay. Make sure we're checking that number line, please. If you missed one, let's correct it. If you have some questions, you can come see me in the morning. I'll be in my classroom. Okay. All right. Number 12. So now these are those absolute value problems that I've been a little picky on. All right. There's not a whole lot of room, but I've still got a little bit of room to show that work. When I take the absolute value of negative 2, it becomes 2. So my new problem just says 2 plus 10. And what is 2 plus 10, folks? 12. All right. This says 15 minus a negative 8, but it's in the bars. So what is the negative 8 going to change to?
8.
8. So now it just says 15 minus 8, and 15 minus 8 gives me 7. Here, the absolute value of negative 3 is 3 plus 7, and 3 plus 7 gives me 10. All right, number 15. This is the part that's different. Let's check our work. Do I just have one number in these bars? No. So I need to subtract them and get one number. What's 150 minus 25? Drew?
125.
125. So guys, I still have 125 in the bars. Now can I tell how far that is from 0? Yes. And what is my answer there? 125. All right? You see how those steps look different when you get to 15. All right. Let's flip it over. On to the back. All right, putting these in order from least to greatest. They're a lot easier than what was on our quiz, and y'all did fantastic on the quiz when we did this, all right? So we're going to start with the least, which means I'm going furthest to the left. The furthest number to the left. If you need to flip it over and look at the number lines on the other side, there's a really good helpful hint, okay? Least means the furthest to the left, all right? If I look on the number lines, the furthest number that would be to the left is going to be that -5. -5 is furthest away from my 0. It's furthest away from my positives. So -5, then we have -4. All right, so those are done. I'm going to mark them out as I go so I don't forget any. All right, after -4, we have a +3, then +10, and +12. All right, number 17, we're going to go through 3, 10, 12. Okay, number 17, we're going to go through the same thing. Starting furthest to the left, which is going to be that -8. It's furthest away from 0. Then I have -5. We're getting closer to 0. Then I have 0. And then I'm going to move into those positive numbers of 9. Okay. All right, looking down at the next one. All right, we need to compare these. -3 compared to 3. Both of them have 3, but remember what we said in our definitions. A positive number is always greater than a negative, so a negative number is going to be less than a positive. If I'm looking at -13 and -1, remember -13 is further to the left, so -13 is less than -1. That positive number should be greater than the negative, so 10 is greater than -3. 4.5 compared to 5.5. 4 is a smaller, is a less than whole number, so 4.5 is also less than 5.5. Okay. 22, this is the tricky one that's gotten some people. It says a -1/4 and a -1/4. I've seen a lot of people put equal to here. But remember, this is in the bars. So this is saying the absolute value. And the absolute value is actually going to make that a positive. So now that that's a positive, it is greater than the -1/4. Please double check your 22. Make sure that we got a greater than symbol there.
I thought the one not in the bars was positive. I didn't see the negative. So I thought it was +1/4 with +1/4.
Okay. All right. Let's look at my integers here. Remember when it says write an integer, that's just a fancy way of saying write a number. So if Sammy lost $2 at the zoo, since she lost the $2, that's going to be a -2. The weather is 7 below 0. Since it's down, that's going to be -7. Am I putting... Oh, sorry, there it goes. All right. Am I putting any dollar symbols or degree symbols?
No.
It's just the number. Just the number. That's all I need to see.
What about if it has decimal?
Then a decimal is a part of a number. Okay. So here it says, I won $10,500 from Publishers Clearinghouse. All right. Me too. I really would love that to happen. $10,500. Since I won it, it's a positive, so I'm just going to put $10,500. Again, no dollar sign. All right, let's talk about 26, because this one has given some people some trouble. It says, Miss Kearley gave 10 learning earning points today. Now, guys, normally if you're giving something away, we would say minus.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. This is obviously a teacher, it sounds like, because I don't know who else would give learning earning points. Okay? All right, guys, if I give you points on a test, am I losing anything by giving you those points? No, in fact, really, like I'm giving you the points because you earned the points.
And we listened to you.
And you listened to me, okay? So, right here, when Miss Kearley is giving those 10 learning earning points, yes, she is giving them, but is she losing anything by doing that? No. So, guys, that should be a positive 10. That should be a positive 10 there. If you put a negative, are there any questions on why it's a positive 10 there? Jay? Huh? I don't have one. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Number 20. Not right now. Okay. All right. Number 27. We got literally just part 1 and part 2. Okay. All right. Number 27. We have point A, which is at -2, -4. So I'm going backwards 2 and down 4. This is going to be A. Aaron, please stop. For B, is that better? For B, we're at -2, +5. So I'm going up to 5. So there's B. Okay, we've got to count how far apart they are. You can start at whichever one you want. Please remember, pick where you're going to start, put your pencil tip there, and after that, start counting. So now that I'm at A, I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get 9 units, and units is already written in for me. All right, let's do B real quick. For B, it says 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right, and then down 3 because it's negative. So that's C. And then D is to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1, 2, 3. All right, and now we're going to count how far apart those are. You can start at D or C. So pick your starting point and then count. 1, 2, 3. Guys, the review, if you found it easy, tomorrow the test should be easy. But please do not let that make you overconfident or sloppy. Because if you make careless errors, it can still cost you some easy points, okay? So tomorrow we're still going to take our time. We're going to study our vocabulary. Okay?
Is it going to be random or in that order?
It could be changed around a little bit.
Please don't.